Trevor, you've got a lot going on right now, but I'd like to start with, who you are, a little bit about your past. You've got a bit of a soothing, passionate reggae sound.
Right.
Was that something that you just sort of came up with as your career and experiences broadened, or did you aim for that style from the beginning?
I don't think I consciously aimed for that style. I just, I grew up on a lot of reggae music, and um, when I sang, this just deep, raspy voice came out. I couldn't really help it too much. So I don't really think about even today, even now when I'm writing a song, I'm not really conscious of oh, I'm gonna write a rock song, or oh, I want to write a reggae, or I want it to sound like this, or I want it to sound like that. I just try to, whatever's coming through me at the time, I just try to let it come out and not think as much as I can. So, yeah, it wasn't really planned out. I think it just maybe was just from inspired by the music I liked as a kid and as I like now, and went from there.
And as a kid, you used to play the harmonica.
Yeah.
What sparked that? Why the harmonica?
I was 11 years old, and I was kind of one of my favorite things to do as a kid was just kind of explore these drawers and cabinets in our house because it had a lot of cool stuff in it. And I found a harmonica. I found my dad's old harmonica, and I opened it up and just was like, "This is so cool!" And I just started playing it, and that was the only instrument available to me at the time. And I just kind of, harmonica is a cool thing because you can keep it in your pocket, and walk around with it, play it wherever you want. And then my dad was playing music. He's a musician and he plays percussion. He was playing at this bar on the weekends where I grew up. And after a while, after he heard me play the harmonica, he was like, "Oh, you should come out and play the harp." So
nice.
Yeah, it was just the first instrument I found, and just kind of went from there.
And so, do people still get to see that part of you when they go to see your show?
Play the harmonica?
Yeah.
Oh no, I don't know
No?
how to
You
really
never
play
break it
it
out?
anymore. Yeah, I think people liked it just because I was really young. I think if I played it now, people would be like, "Oh, he's not really that good." So,
It was
yeah.
just because you were cute. That's it.
It was just because I was young and a cute little kid, whatever.
Now, you actually had a song on the Shrek The Third soundtrack. Speaking of kids,
Right.
a movie more aimed towards kids, but adults definitely still enjoy it.
Right.
Was that your first true attempt at the music industry?
That was just a very weird. It was very interesting how it came about because at that time I was on a big major label. I was on Geffen Records, and I was making a new album. And at that time, Ron Fair, this really big music producer, was the president of Geffen. And when we went in to show him some songs, we played him that song Other Ways. And he just was like, "Oh, this is such a great song. I think this would be great in a movie. We're doing the sound for Shrek the Third. Let me call them up."
Wow.
And I was like, "What?" And he called up the producer, I guess, right there, and said, "Oh, I have this great song for Shrek the Third. You should put it in." And it just happened like that. It just happened it happened so sudden. I almost didn't really realize what was going on, but that wasn't really my choice. It just, like I said, it just happened so fast, and I was really lucky to have that for sure. I mean, it definitely really helped support us on the road for a very long time, and but yeah.
And you've done a lot since then. You even took a break, and you're still around. You've come back. You're doing more and more.
Right.
Chapter of the Forest came from a lot of traveling while you were on that break. I want to know more about this album.
Yeah, Chapter of the Forest is a special one. Yeah, just because yeah, I mean, leading up to that, I was touring, like, I started touring when I was like 17 or something, and uh, since that time, like, I was just touring so nonstop that um, I can't remember, like, if I was like in one place for like more than a couple months. It's just really a lot of work, and I was young at the time, so it was fun. And then, but after 10 years of doing it, I think it really like started to catch up with me, and the business side of it really of music really started to affect my brain, and I couldn't think as freely as I did when I was a kid. Just of, oh, I love playing music, I just want to play music. I was thinking, oh yeah, whatever. I gotta get a single. I gotta get a song on the radio. I was thinking in such numbers, and I became really, really burnt out. My health started to like drop off, and I just was not in a very happy place, and music just wasn't really fun for me. And then I was like, I need to take a break. I need to stop. And it was really scary because I had never done that before. I had never taken a break before. And I didn't know when I was going to come back. I really even didn't know like if I wanted to come back, but I took a break. I went up into the forests up into Vermont and Maine, and my wife and I spent a lot of time up there, and just really like let my body come down, let my mind come down, and just kind of, it's a lot. You're using a lot of adrenaline when you're traveling and playing music every night, and I think I just had spent it all, so I was just sleeping a lot and eating a lot of good food and home cooked food, and then after a while, I picked up the guitar again, but not out of a place of like, oh, I'm going to write this new album called Chapter of the Forest. It was just, I'm going to pick up the guitar, and I was just letting, music come through me as before when I loved it, when I loved just writing music. And, after a while I had, 7 or 8 songs, and then I had 12 songs, and I had, and I realized, oh man, this is, I got an album here, and these songs have really done a lot for me. They've helped heal me a lot, so I need to share these with the people, and that's just how it came out. It's a really long journey, really long journey.
Is it ever scary to you to share it with the people?
Yeah, I mean, it's not scary, it's just like, I don't know, for me, like when I'm writing a song, it's like my favorite feeling in the whole world, because it's like just coming through you, and it's just you, and it's just me, and I'm alone, and I don't have any distractions. I don't have anybody commenting on it, like, oh, you need to like, this part needs to be like that, and this part needs to be like this, and it's just so pure, and it's just like coming out, and it's just, and then, it's like, then all those other thoughts kind of start chatting away in your brain, like, are other people going to like this? Is this going to be good on a record? And, it just kind of bothers me more than, like, scares me. It's just like, I wish that I didn't have to think in that way. I've gotten a lot better, but it's just kind of, I don't know, it just bothers me that my brain goes in that direction. But then again, it's like that's what comes with, music is about, sharing it. And when I share it with people, I'm so happy. It really makes me feel good, but it gets hard. When the bigger it gets harder. Yeah, for me at least. Yeah.
And that album actually did well upon its release.
Yeah.
It turns out you didn't have to worry about any of that.
Yeah.
On a couple of iTunes chart, it was, number 3 spot on the iTunes Singer-songwriter, I believe.
Yeah.
And then the number 17 spot on iTunes overall albums chart.
Yeah.
Like, when you're putting that together, is that even a distant goal in your mind, or?
Not at all. Not at all. I mean, I really, even when it was on, 17 and whatever, number 3, I don't really even look at it. It's just my manager or somebody telling me, like, oh, you got to number 3. And I'm super grateful for that. I'm super thankful for that. But,
you're just sort of putting it out there and letting it be?
yeah, I'm just putting it out there and letting it do its thing, for me, like, those things kind of distract me, and I just want to be the least distracted,
That's awesome.
So,
That's good that you can do that, right? I mean...
Yeah, well, I try my best, The mind is a funny thing.
Absolutely. And I mean, with social media these days, too, it's got to be that much harder. The fact that you did start at a younger age, so I'm sure you've been through the different stages where social media wasn't so big.
Yeah.
Now it's like, not only does everybody have an opinion, but everybody has the ability to share that opinion with whoever they want.
Yeah. It's kind of, like anything, it's good and bad. Like, social media has totally made it a lot easier for, I think, musicians or anybody with an art form or a business or whatever to really spread the word and really connect with people, connect with other artists, connect with other musicians. It's amazing. It's just incredible about, letting people know about shows. Like, I can't remember, like, what I did before we had, like, social media, it's just, it's crazy. On the other hand, it drives me absolutely insane.
Right.
It really does. It really drives me insane. And, like you said, you see everybody's thoughts. You see everybody's comments. You see everybody's this and that. And it's just kind of like sensory overload type of thing.
Yeah.
Whereas, you think back in the old days, whatever, Rolling Stones or Bob Marley or anything, yeah, they had magazine articles here and there and stuff where people could give their opinions, but it wasn't in their face, on their phones,
everywhere they went.
Every time you open your Facebook, there's another comment. That part just drives me nuts, but it's a really good thing. I think every musician today, in the end, would say, yeah, it's an amazing thing, and it's helped us, grow as artists.
And saying that you get the word out on social media, your Small is Beautiful tour, it sees you in Vancouver on September 14th at the Media Club, but you've got way more dates than that,
right.
So where can people find those?
You can find the dates on trevorhallmusic.com, and you can also find them where?
smarturl.it.
You can find them on smarturl.it
Awesome.
/TH tour. We're on Facebook. It's a long tour. I mean, we also just got off a long tour. We were on tour with Michael Front, who were supposed to come to Vancouver, but that show got canceled, unfortunately. But yeah, we were on tour this summer for like 2 months, and we've had a month off, but that month goes by really fast.
And you're going right back into it again.
And now we're right back into it. But I'm really, really excited just because the tour this summer was awesome, but it was a very massive tour, 4 bands, and we were playing like huge amphitheaters and arena, outdoor arenas and stuff. And this tour is much more intimate, and we get to kind of have a longer set, and it's our tour. We can kind of shape it how we want. So
what made you
really
decide to go to the smaller venues like the Media Club? I mean, it's not big at all, but it's an awesome venue.
Yeah, I think, well, in Vancouver, we haven't really played that much in Vancouver.
That's gonna
We,
change.
yeah, I love Vancouver. Like, I'm not just saying that because you're from Vancouver, but I love that city. Um, we've only played there one other times, by ourselves, and that was at the Media Club.
Hmm.
Um, and we're still really just building that, family. So, but also, yeah, I mean, with Small It's Beautiful, it's not just Vancouver. We are playing a lot of smaller places. I've always just part of the new album, Chapter of the Forest, and part of the tour, Small Is Beautiful. That theme has really been in our minds for a long time about just connecting back with the roots and why I love music and just simplifying not just things musically, but also like in my life and in my own self and all these things. It's just kind of a theme that we've been running on, and I've been really fortunate to play like a lot of places and a lot of huge places. But my favorite shows have always been just super up close, intimate shows. And I just wanted to like do a tour of that. I just wanted to like let's just give our family, our fans that intimate setting, not feel like we're super far away from each other all the time. So yeah, we just kind of I'm really fortunate to run with that and do
That's
a whole
great.
tour like that.
I can't wait. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
And you've actually teamed up with Kevin Pierce for this tour.
Yeah, that came about super recent. We were up in Vermont, and my family had contacted contacted his brother Adam for a concert that we were trying to do up in Vermont. And Adam came by the house, and it was funny because I like slept in like super late. I came out of my room and it was like, they were all talking and they had been talking for like 2 hours, and I came out in like my pajamas. I was really embarrassed, but we all talked for like a couple more hours, and then I wasn't even talking to him about the tour, but as we were talking, he was talking about their foundation called Love Your Brain and all the amazing things they're doing with like yoga and brain injury, and I had seen that Kevin Pierce's movie, The Crash Reel, the documentary on him, which was just amazing. Like I'd seen that like a couple of years ago, a year and a half ago, and was just so taken back by it. And as we were talking, we were trying to team up with another organization for Small It's Beautiful, but it fell through. So we were kind of left by ourselves. And then all of a sudden, Adam Pierce was in our kitchen, and we're talking to him, and he's talking about his foundation, and my wife and I were like, oh my God, this is it. We should totally do something for Small It's Beautiful. And we pitched it to him. We said, hey, we're going out on this tour. Like, would you be interested in just, teaming up? And sweetest guy, and he totally was into it. And I'm so fortunate that we're rocking together for this. I mean, it's really amazing. Love Your Brain isn't just about, people that have had brain injuries, but Love Your Brain is a term that all of us can use today, about taking care of ourselves and, healthy minds, healthy hearts, and taking necessary action to do that, because the only way the world is going to change is if we change ourselves first, and I think it just really keeps in line with the theme of Small Is Beautiful. So we're super, super stoked and really excited to see what comes out of it.
And what can fans expect with you and this foundation being together? What can they hope to see at your shows?
Well, I think just Love Your Brain. I mean, Kevin, is a professional snowboarder. if you're not familiar with the story, and just he was like the best, and he really, has a lot of connections with so many different people just from being an athlete and traveling around the world, and I think that alliance, with us, will really just expand our family and expand our tribe, So we're excited and going to be surprised to see, where it goes and who we meet and who's coming out, and but I think just having another partner that is kind of all about what we're trying to give the people, just about simple life, simple heart, simple mind. It just gives us more power to spread the message. So, I think people just, can only expect goodness coming out from it, because that's what we're trying to portray, And it's just going to be really intimate shows, lots of great new music, obviously with Chapter of the Forest is coming out. And I'm excited to play with I have a little bit of a smaller setup with the band, and I really look forward just to like connecting with folks, and not having it be like singer and audience. Just like we're all together. Hey, let's all get together. I'm gonna play some tunes and let's just have a good time, Yeah. Trying to getting away from the spotlight mentality and just like, being a family and having fun.
Just like some friends in a bar having a good time.
That's what it is, and that's what we want people to feel. We don't want people to feel like, they're over here and we're over here, It's a really special event, and really stoked to be taking it around the country.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I connect with people in a different way. Each one of my interviews, I do my best to ask this question. I can kind of assume what your answer might be, but in case I'm wrong, I'm wondering what kind of socks you wear.
What kind of socks do I wear?
Yeah.
Oh. What kind of socks do I wear? I don't really wear socks a lot.
I was right!
Yeah. Because I don't really wear shoes a lot.
Yeah.
When I do wear shoes, what are they?
You wear gray Hanes.
I wear gray Hanes.
Gray Hanes. So your wife buys them for you then?
My wife just buys like most of my wardrobe like totally went from like here to like here when I got married. Like
that's a good thing. That's
kind of like a bum. Now I've become like really steezy.
Yeah.
So it's like elevated a lot. But yeah, I don't really wear shoes but in the winter, now that I'm living in the Northeast, I definitely wear socks a lot more and slippers and all these things.
Yeah.
I have a really cool pair of slippers. Like if you would have asked me that question, I would have won.
All right, what are your slippers like then?
I don't even know what brand they are. What are the slippers brand?
Merrill.
What are they? Merrill. They're Merrill slippers? I don't know.
I'm going to have to look them up.
They're free. They're baller. And when I first got them, I wore them everywhere, out and about, because they're kind of classy, so people don't know that they're slippers.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, I'm totally blowing this question.
No, you're not. It's awesome.
Yeah, but that gray Hanes, when I do wear socks, really basic. I'm talking you go to whatever department store, and they're the cheap pack of 12.
Alright, so they clearly always match as well.
Always gray. You open the drawers, no, it's just gray socks.
That's it. I might have to fix that for you.
It's oh, sorry. Just boring.
No, not at all. That's an awesome story. I was actually sitting here before we got on the call, and I was thinking, I have to ask him this question because my viewers wait for it. But you strike me as the type of person that is just so down to earth and just connected with what's around you that you would be the simplicity, barefoot, freedom type of guy.
Right, yeah. That's very true. My wife's agreeing with you.
I'm happy to hear that. Well, thank you so much for your time, Trevor. I really appreciate it. And
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate how we got to do this.
Yeah, I'm glad it worked out.
Yeah, and we'll see you in Vancouver.